So let's talk about how your life changes with the practice of connecting. As someone listening to this video, there's several things going on in your life right now. I promise you, you're stressed, you're worked up, you're anxious, or you're concerned about something in your life. That's the first thing. The second thing is there are situations or areas in your life that you're dealing with that you are questioning if you're doing the right thing. Is this the right solution? How do you know what to do? What is right for you at this stage or this time in your life? The other thing is you probably have some situation going on with a family member or somebody in your life, or even life itself, that you're confronting some issues. What I just shared with you is the human being condition. You see, to be a human being is to have this going on all the time. I'm a human being and I have it going on all the time. Now, there's nothing wrong with any of that. We live our life and we're fine. We deal with it, right? But one of the things that many of us are beginning to realize is that that way of living has a cost to it. The cost is a sense of fulfillment, maybe real peace, an experience of the real joy of what life is really about, an impact on our health and well-being from this constant, ongoing chatter that never stops, that is telling us all of the things that isn't okay and that showing us all of the things we need to work on or do. Looking outside into life and seeing situations that then we begin to think, I should look like that. That's what my life should be like. I'm going to work really hard and I'm really going to be, a person that can do everything, or I'm stuck and I don't really care. We have so many different ways that we embrace life, that we step into life, and however we are about life and on this whole world that we deal with. And you see, this is where the practice of connecting changes all of that for a human being. The practice of connecting is the next level in self-help. It's actually the step that goes beyond just quieting the mind or just knowing you have these chatter that's going on all the time. The practice of connecting does something way beyond that. And what it does is that it actually gives you access to another part of you. Some people call it that intuitive part of you, the part of you that actually has the guidance and answers that will take you out of any situation towards an experience of that fulfilled, joyful, and a life of real peace. And that part of you is what I call the self. Now, in the practice of connecting, the self is different than maybe books you have read that spoke about self. The self in the practice of connecting is in relationship to your mind. You see, all of that stuff I shared about life and how it's lived, all lives in the mind and how the mind perceives and relates to life. When you wake up in the morning, you don't really have to think. There are thoughts thinking for you. There are thoughts walking around all the time telling you what to think about this, how to feel about that. Oh, look, that's what's going on. That's like what you should think about it. Oh, look, this person also thinks so. So then it's really real and it's true. And that creates our emotions, and those emotions drive us in our life. And then we just kind of follow along whatever is this chatter is going on. And you see, we call that ourself, right? We say that's me. You see, in the practice of connecting, you're able to separate your mind from you. And that is amazing. That is truly amazing, because guess what? That chatter that goes on all the time, it's not going away. That is your mind. Now, you might even know it's your mind, but knowing it's your mind doesn't do anything. It's still carrying on. And this is how the practice of connecting changes our life, you see. Because in the practice of connecting, you don't try to change the mind and all that chatter. You unplug it. You totally release that the mind and all its chatter is who you are. And you actually train yourself to listen for the guidance and the answers that come from yourself. And that is how your life changes. So let's just take a situation, for example. Let's say you have something you're really stressed out about, like you're moving, you're going to a new town, you're going to have to adjust and adapt. You're leaving all your family, and it's a heartbreak for you. It's like killing you, right? You're like, I can't do this, but I know I got to do it. It's a job, and I've got to do it because it's paying me well, and all of that, right? Let's say that's why you're moving. So now, that feeling is going to stay with you. Some people might move and live there, and that feeling never goes away. You're still like, I'm not close to my family. I can't see them. I can't go visit them whenever I want. The feeling of aloneness or being alone, maybe you'll make new friends, but still somewhere in your mind, there is this nagging thought that it isn't the way it should be. But it really impacts us, right? We feel it. There's stress. There's some kind of worry around us. Maybe we get a little tired. Maybe we find that even though we make a lot of new friends and we're having a great time, there's still some joy lacking. It gets us somehow. So now you connect. And when you connect, what happens is that you literally disengage that reality that the mind has created, that leaving your family equals not having real joy in your life. I'm telling you, in that moment of a connection, that is gone. I'm telling you that when you do a connection, that experience has disappeared that the mind creates, and it's not there anymore. And then you'll connect, meaning you're going to ask, like, what is there for me to know about living away from my family, from myself now? Now, when you presence that statement, remember, you're presencing it without any of the mind there that something's wrong or you're not really fulfilled. Okay? That's not there. So when you connect and you presence that statement and you train and you learn how to listen and to trust and to act, you find yourself like not feeling that feeling anymore. And maybe you might get, or as you talk to your family, you may have called them frequently or whatever, but you might get, it's okay. You might get, they're fine. You might get, you're loved. You might get, it's okay. But whatever you get, it starts to create a different reality. And you see, that reality is different than what the mind has kept telling you all the time. This reality now is having you be like, oh, no, it's not a problem. All is well. But not like the opposite of the mind. You might get certain actions like, have your family create a get together, invite all your family and have them come down. I don't know what you'll get. Or you might get, send each of them a birthday card this year. I don't know what you'll get. By the way, that is also the thing I love about connecting. Nobody tells you what you should do. You don't read a book and get, here are the 10 things to do to make yourself joyful after you've moved away from your family. It's not like that. Because what you get is so unique to you that when you take that action, hello, not only are you more joyful, but you're more connected to your family, even though they're not even living near to you. You actually start to feel that you're more connected to them, more in the joy of being with them, wherever you've moved to, and when you used to even live nearby, you still didn't feel that way. It really is like that. The practice of connecting changes every single area of our life because we have access to disengaging everything the mind is telling us that's real and true about a situation, and we're connecting to listen for what ourself has to say about that situation. And guess what? It's always very different. Not only is it different, it's unlike anything we could think of. And when we take those actions, the experience of our life is totally altered. We're always connected. We're always in the experience of being honored. We feel the joy of life. We live in real peace, as in the absence of all of our mind's chatter. And we begin to have things come into our life that have our life work. And that's how the practice of connecting changes your life. So listen, I invite you to check it out. Click on the link below and take it on. Practice this and see how it will change your life.